What if the one thing doctors have been telling you to do for leg circulation after 60 is actually making things worse? I know that sounds crazy, but stick with me for just 30 seconds because what I'm about to show you could be the difference between walking confidently at 75 or struggling to get out of a chair. Here's what I mean. Sarah, a 62-year-old grandmother from Ohio, walked faithfully every single morning for 3 years. 30 minutes, rain or shine. She wore compression socks, elevated her legs, did everything her doctor recommended. But her ankles kept swelling. Her feet stayed cold. And one morning, reaching for her coffee, her leg gave out and she fell. That fall led to 6 weeks of recovery, loss of confidence, and a spiral that could have been prevented. The problem isn't walking itself. Walking is wonderful. The problem is that walking alone completely misses the one muscle group that acts as your body's second heart. And after 60, when this muscle weakens, blood starts pooling in your lower legs. That pooling leads to swelling, cold feet, numbness, and eventually the balance problems that cause falls. I'm going to show you 5 specific movements that target this muscle pump. Movements that vascular surgeons rely on after leg surgery to prevent circulation collapse. And here's the shocking part. These exercises take less than 12 minutes per day, require no equipment, and you can do every single one of them safely at home, even if you have knee pain or balance concerns right now. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly which muscle drives circulation in your legs, why walking misses it, and the 5 exercises that activate it properly. I'm counting down from number 5 to number 1, and I promise you, the number 1 exercise is the single most powerful movement for restoring blood flow after 60. It's the one surgeons prescribe first, and once you understand why, you'll never look at leg exercises the same way again. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Now, let's get into the science and the movements. Starting with number 5. Movement number 5. Seated ankle pumps. Movement number 5 is called seated ankle pumps, and I know it looks almost too simple to matter, but here's why this one shows up in every post-surgery rehab protocol I've ever seen. Your calves contain what doctors call the venous muscle pump. Think of it like a secondary heart in your lower legs. Every time this muscle contracts, it physically squeezes the veins and pushes blood back up towards your heart against gravity. After 60, especially if you sit for long periods, this pump starts failing. Blood pools in your ankles, oxygen delivery drops, swelling increases. And here's the part most people don't realize. This pooling blood is what causes that heavy, tired feeling in your legs by the afternoon. You're not just tired. Your circulation is literally stalling out. A 2023 study in the Journal of Vascular Medicine found that simple ankle pumping improved venous return by 34% in adults over 60, even without standing or walking. 34%. That's not a small number. Here's how to do this correctly. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Lift your toes toward your shins while keeping your heels down. That's the flex position. Hold for 2 seconds. Now press your toes into the floor and lift your heels like you're pressing a gas pedal. That's the point position. Hold for 2 seconds. That's 1 repetition. Move slowly and deliberately. Aim for 20 to 30 reps, 2 to 3 times per day. You can do this while watching TV, reading, or even sitting at your desk. What makes this different from walking is the deliberate contraction. Walking relies on momentum. Your calf barely has to work. Ankle pumps create sustained contractions that actively move stagnant blood out of the lower legs. This means warmer feet, less swelling, and reduced pressure on those fragile veins. It's also one of the safest ways to start improving circulation if you have pain, balance issues, or severe fatigue that limits your mobility. But ankle pumps only wake the system up. They don't strengthen it, and that's where movement number 4 comes in. This one might shock you with how fast it works. Movement number 4. Seated leg lifts. Movement number 4 is the seated leg lift. And if you think sitting down means this one is easy, you're in for a surprise. A 2024 study in the Archives of Physical Medicine found that adults over 60 who perform seated leg lifts with light resistance improved their walking speed by 28% and stair climbing ability by 45% in just 8 weeks. Now, why do those numbers matter so much? Because walking speed is what doctors call the 6th vital sign. Slower walking speed is directly linked to higher fall risk, loss of independence, and even shorter lifespan. It's a predictor of what's coming. Here's why this exercise works when walking doesn't. Seated leg lifts target your quadriceps and hip flexors simultaneously while forcing your core to stabilize. These are the exact muscles that keep your legs working when you stand from a chair, climb stairs, or catch yourself from falling. But traditional walking barely challenges them enough to stop age-related decline. You need targeted resistance. And when these muscles contract, they squeeze the large veins in your thigh and drive blood back toward the heart. Here's how to perform this correctly. Sit tall in a sturdy chair with your back pressed firmly against the seat, both feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift one leg straight out in front of you, keeping the knee as straight as comfortable. Don't lock it, but extend it. Hold that top position for 2 full seconds. This is critical. Then lower slowly, taking 3 seconds without letting your foot drop or thud to the floor. That's 1 rep. Do 10 to 15 reps on one leg, then switch sides. The key detail most people miss is posture. Keeping your back against the chair prevents momentum from doing the work. That forces the right muscles to fire, and that's where the circulation benefit comes from. As this gets easier, add light resistance, ankle weights, or a resistance band. Even 1 or 2 pounds makes a difference. Research shows muscles respond to progressive resistance at any age, and older adults often improve faster because they're starting from a lower baseline. But even strong thighs won't protect you if the next muscle group isn't working. And that's what we're covering in movement number 3. This is where balance and circulation finally overlap. Movement number 3, standing calf raises. Movement number 3 is standing calf raises with support. And this is the muscle group doctors rarely test, but it's often the first reason seniors lose their independence. Here's something that shocked even experienced researchers. A landmark study cited by the National Institute on Aging found that calf strength is one of the strongest predictors of whether someone over 60 maintains independence. Seniors with stronger calves had dramatically fewer falls and were far less likely to need assisted living. Think about that for a moment. Your calves, not your hips, not your core, your calves. Here's why this matters. Your calf muscles act like a mechanical pump. Every time they contract, they squeeze the deep veins in your lower leg and force blood upward against gravity. Weak calves mean blood pools, swelling increases, oxygen delivery drops, and balance reactions slow down. This is why surgeons obsess over this movement, even though it looks simple. It's not just building strength. It's retraining circulation and balance at the same time, the exact combination your body needs to prevent a fall. Here's how to do this correctly. Stand behind a sturdy chair or kitchen countertop and hold on lightly with both hands. Place your feet hip-width apart. Now slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as comfortable. At the top, pause. Hold that position for 2 to 3 full seconds while looking straight ahead, not down. This is where the magic happens. Then lower slowly, taking about 3 seconds to come back down with control. Start with 10 repetitions. As strength improves, work up to 20 or 25. The key here is tempo. That brief pause at the top forces your balance system and calf muscles to fire together. This is exactly what happens when you catch yourself during a stumble. Over time, this single movement improves ankle stability, circulation, and reaction speed all at once. It's one of the most direct ways to reduce leg swelling while also lowering fall risk, without stressing your knees or hips. And here's something important. If this feels too difficult right now, you can start by just holding the top position for 1 second, or even doing partial raises. Progress takes time. The goal is consistency, not perfection. Now we're approaching the top 2 movements. This is where everything we've built so far comes together. Movement number 2 is the one that shocked me most when I first saw the research. Movement number 2, single leg balance hold. Movement number 2 is the single leg balance hold. And before you dismiss this as just balance training, let me show you something that will change your perspective completely. Large population studies from the National Institutes on Aging show that the ability to stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds is one of the strongest predictors of future falls, mobility loss, and rapid physical decline after 60. In fact, adults who fail this simple test are 3 to 4 times more likely to experience a serious fall within the next 2 years. And once falls start, circulation almost always gets worse, not better. It becomes a vicious cycle. Here's why this matters for blood flow, not just balance. Every time you stand on one leg, your calf, ankle, hip, and core muscles are forced to contract continuously to keep you upright. That sustained contraction creates a prolonged muscle pump effect, especially in the calves, pushing blood upward instead of letting it pool. Walking never creates this demand. You're only on one leg for a fraction of a second during each step. Single leg stance holds force that pump to stay active. And this is where circulation and fall prevention overlap perfectly. When balance declines, people move less. When movement drops, blood flow slows, swelling increases, pain rises, confidence falls, and that's how the downward spiral accelerates. Here's how to perform this properly. Stand next to a countertop, chair back, or wall. Place one hand lightly on it for support, just fingertips, not gripping. Shift your weight onto one leg and lift the other foot just 1 or 2 inches off the floor. You don't need to lift it high. Stand tall. Keep your eyes focused forward on a fixed point. Avoid gripping with your toes or leaning to one side. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds while breathing normally. Then switch legs. That's one set. Start with 2 rounds per side. As this gets easier, reduce how much you rely on your hand. Eventually, you'll be able to hover your hand without touching, and that's when you know your balance system is truly rebuilding. What makes this powerful isn't just balance, it's time under tension. Those sustained contractions keep blood moving, strengthen stabilizing muscles, and retrain your nervous system to react faster when you stumble. But here's the limitation. Balance keeps you upright. It doesn't fully restore blood flow on its own. To do that, you need the most powerful version of the calf pump there is. And that's movement number 1. Movement number 1, standing calf hold. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Movement number 1 is the standing calf pump hold. And once you understand what this does inside your legs, you'll see why surgeons around the world prescribe it almost like medicine. Here's something that shocked even experienced surgeons reviewing long-term recovery data. This exact movement shows up again and again in vascular rehab programs worldwide because no other exercise activates the calf muscle pump as powerfully, as safely, or as consistently after 60. This is the most direct way to force blood out of the lower legs and back toward the heart without medication, machines, or high-impact stress. Here's why it works. Your calves aren't just muscles, they're pressure pumps. When you rise onto your toes and hold that position, those muscles squeeze the deep veins in your lower legs and physically drive blood upward against gravity. The hold is what makes all the difference. It keeps the pump engaged long enough to overcome pooling, swelling, and sluggish return flow. Walking doesn't do this. Ankle pumps prepare the system. Single leg stance trains control, but heel raises with a sustained hold actively move blood and keep it moving. Here's how to do it properly. Stand behind a chair or countertop and hold on lightly for balance. Place your feet hip-width apart. Slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as comfortable. Now here's the key. Pause and hold that top position for 3 to 5 full seconds while breathing normally and looking straight ahead. Don't hold your breath. This sustained contraction is where the magic happens. Then lower slowly, taking about 3 seconds to come back down with complete control. That's 1 repetition. Start with 8 to 10 reps. Over time, work up to 15 or 20 with good form. The hold at the top is non-negotiable. That's where the pump stays fully engaged. Venous return improves, swelling reduces, and the muscles that catch you during a stumble get retrained. Clinical rehab data consistently shows that seniors who master controlled heel raises improve circulation, walking endurance, ankle strength, and balance confidence all at once. And unlike running or jumping, this puts minimal stress on joints, making it safe even for people with arthritis or balance concerns when done with support. This is why it's number 1. This is the movement that changes everything. So there you have it. 5 exercises surgeons rely on to restore circulation, reduce swelling, and protect independence after 60. Walking is wonderful. I'm not telling you to stop walking, but walking alone leaves critical gaps. It doesn't fully activate the muscle pumps that move blood out of your legs, and it doesn't train the balance systems that prevent falls in the first place. These 5 movements fill those gaps. And the best part? They take less than 12 minutes per day, require no gym membership, and can be done safely at home starting today. Here's what I recommend. Pick 2 or 3 of these exercises and start there. Do them every morning. Build the habit first, then add the others as you get stronger. Consistency beats intensity every single time at this stage of life. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 exercises surprised you the most? Or which one are you starting with today? Drop a comment below and let me know. I read every single comment and I love hearing from you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay moving, and remember, it's never too late to start taking care of your circulation.